Hi.
This is Yohanna Jessup. We're here at the showing. Can you start talking about the
Sure. So we'll take a walk through the paintings, and we're going to do it in the order in which they actually unfolded and were painted. These are the two seed principles behind all the other paintings in this series. So this one on the left is called Soul. It's representative of the sun principle and also of a horizontal principle. Then the neighbor of that piece is called Axis, and this one represents the vertical principle. I found it to be a very fiery piece, and that's actually a pine tree in the center.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tree. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's this big upwards or verticalizing movement behind this piece. And then the geometry that's in this piece is also carried throughout the rest of the paintings in a couple different configurations. Right now you can see there's a dodecahedron, basically a 12-sided star, so to speak, around the center circle. And it's comprised of two hexagons, which means two six-sided shapes, and those are also reflected in some of the pieces. So I'm using the 12-sided shape here to represent a state of completion. And in geometry, in the Platonic solids, the dodecahedron is actually representative of the creation at large, the universe. And so to me, the 12-sided shape really brings this sense of something that's come fully to completion. Yeah. This painting is called Pure, and yeah, I love this one.
I love this one.
And this is a combination of the two, the vertical and the horizontal principles. So in essence, this image emerges out of the center of that union. And you can see that the 12-sided shapes are in this image as well. There are 12 sort of spokes that radiate out of the center. And then very faintly around the whole image, there's that 12-sided star. It's both outside the central shape, and also the central shape is built on it as well. And to me, this is a representation of an aspect of the human heart, again, at a stage of completion, at a stage of union with the creation. So this painting is called Transmute, and it's similar to Pure, obviously. The central image is the same, but this space really came from the sense of something that's in the process of being cooked or evolved to a state of perfection. So where the painting that we just saw really represents an element in its completion, this one is in the process of being forged. And you can see off of the left side of the image, looks kind of like smoke and that turns into clouds. And I really wanted this piece to invoke that sense of something that is in the process, like something that's in a process of being completed.
Being cooked.
Yeah, being cooked. Absolutely.
It evokes that.
Yeah. These next two pieces are built on the intersection and union. So there are these cross shapes in both of these pieces, but there's also an additional element of, in this piece, a square. For me, that really evoked something of the earth. Again, in all of these pieces, there's a process happening, which is towards some kind of change or some kind of ideal. It's a representation of the ideal of the archetypal form, and also the sense of unity that comes from the center of these intersections that are in all of these pieces. This piece was really reflective of the earth element to me. And again, like the earth element in a process of change towards a higher ideal. So where the earth element can usually be heavy or stuck. Exactly, this one is actually in a process of being interested in more than just material or earthly things. And I really love the sky in this one. Like, it's such an open space. And at the same time, there's a sense of structure. So. And then this painting is called Octahedra. I love the sky background in this one. Mm-hmm. It feels so dynamic and so uplifted to me. And these, so the octahedra, again in platonic solids, is an 8-sided shape. And so this would be sort of a two-dimensional view of it if you look at those drawings flat, like the sort of diamond and the cross in the middle. Yeah. But those shapes represent air in the platonic solids. And so when I was painting this, I was kind of envisioning these, they look like little connections, or again, hearts that have sort of come to completion that are floating around in the sky.
Maybe between lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had so much fun painting those skies. Like, it's just really atmospheric, creating these atmospheres in which these shapes and spaces can really have a breath, so to speak. So, and I just love the lightness and expansion of painting the sky. I'm totally obsessed with it right now. So there will probably be more sky paintings coming.
A sky series.
Yes.
I see it coming. And you've got one more.
Okay, yeah. So we're on this one.
That's my favorite.
That one's your favorite?
Just the colors, and I don't know. It just seems to have a lot of energy in it, and like those dark clouds you see before it rains, you know, and it's like there's a lot of things going on there. And I think a little spaceship's coming in.
That's awesome. It's also one of the few pieces in the whole series that doesn't have a centralized composition. Yeah. So actually every other painting so far in this is very symmetrical. Yeah. But that one breaks out a little bit.
It's like an anti-gravity spaceship from the Galactics.
That's great. Okay, moving along. What I wanted to capture here was a sense, again, of union. There is an element of the horizontal axis, like going back to that very first painting of the series, the sun, the soul painting. This one really embodies that, and at the same time, it's got a 12-sided star around it, the dodecahedron shape. And so it's kind of like that sun horizontal principle having come again to a state of ideal. And then I call that one New Dawn. There was really the sense, again, like of this evolutionary process where something comes to into a new paradigm. And so anyway, I wanted the sky to really be reflective of what it feels like in dawn, you know, when the sun is rising and things are fresh and new.
Wonderful. Any last words from the artist with all your paintings in the background?
Well, I'm really excited just to be able to share the work with you, and I look forward to keeping you posted about what comes next.